Every major metropolitan area in the country has or will at some point go through this like up and down, up and down. There are few places who have had the peaks and valleys that Detroit have had. If Detroit is able to rebuild itself, which other places have done that, but does so in a way that is equitable and leads to like substantial improvement in quality of life and economic mobility and opportunity for particularly its lowest income people. If we can figure that out, right, as a community, that is transformational for the nation. That is like the American dream embodied in a place. I continue to think that Detroit is that city for the country. We just have a lot of work to do.
Detroit chose us. Capital Impact Partners is a national nonprofit community development financial institution with offices across the country. Our goal and our vision is really to help communities break barriers to success. And we do that by lending, investing, and developing programs that help communities thrive.
The process that brought us to Detroit was sort of a long and deliberate one. Thinking back to 2009 and 2010, when this initiative was getting started, that was just at the tail end of the recession. Detroit was significantly underinvested. There were a lot of transactions that hadn't been able to move forward because of the recession and economic conditions.
As a lender at the time, I thought they would bring like good, disciplined rigor to the work. That they would prioritize high impact transactions that like we could deliver capital into.
Detroiters are very proud of their city, and it was clear that we had to earn their trust and their respect. And that really required us to be present. And so my biggest hope, and actually probably my largest concern, was that we could prove that to the communities.
And the reality was that there were a number of developers and nonprofit organizations and people really interested in seeing Detroit succeed. That presented a number of opportunities, and it would have been very difficult, I think, for an organization moving into a new area for the first time if we hadn't had the kind of information or invitation and welcome that we received from other organizations in Detroit, those that had done work for years.
We were really following a strategy that was laid out and that was identified by local partners.
You know, I provide them a lot of feedback and they don't get sensitive. I'm pretty frank in terms of things that I think that they could do better or things that they are doing phenomenal at. And I appreciate that they listen and take that advice and they move forward with a program that is designed to serve people.
If you really want to scale impact and we really want to be able to move the needle, we have to collaborate with other organizations.
We've had a relationship with Capital Impact Partners for around 20 years. In Detroit, following the bankruptcy, JPMorgan Chase worked to create a model, a data-driven strategy based on months of on-the-ground conversations and planning. And we have a broad relationship with CIP across multiple product touchpoints. We've invested in CIP, sponsored new market tax credit projects, and we partnered with CIP on key initiatives like our charter school financing program and the Detroit Initiative.
For the 30 years before we went into Detroit, had been really sector-based and not focused on a geographic area, but working nationally within the areas of healthcare and education and affordable housing and cooperative development.
Commercial real estate was a fairly new market segment for Capital Impact, but because of the need, they really doubled down and they did more lending than they had anticipated in that field, which really helped spur economic growth.
Really developing housing and commercial space that would serve residents across the income spectrum.
We want to be additive to what the community needs. And we need a broad array of tools, so the basic needs that every community desires, but also provide opportunities to thrive and prosper and build wealth.
Capital Impact's programmatic work since that time has really evolved hand in hand with our lending work. At that time, this type of role, this kind of like place-based focus with a programmatic function was pretty new for the organization.
or at the beginning, we were thinking about how to just get capital on the street, get projects started. And then over time, we started to think about who it was who was receiving our loans.
And we realized in a city that was over 85% African American, very little of our lending dollars actually went to developers of color. And we realized that needed to change.
Once I raised the alarm internally to Capital Impact, and to their credit, everyone, all hands were on deck, which inevitably led to the creation of the Equitable Development Initiative.
The Equitable Development Initiative, or EDI, absolutely is something that we believe is a hallmark of the organization that got its genesis in Detroit.
The program is focused on supporting real estate developers of color through training, technical assistance, and capital solutions.
I think in addition to creating quote-unquote developers, we've created people who are more knowledgeable within the real estate space, but almost more importantly, we've taken this underrepresented population and we've explained to them how real estate development works.
You know, back in 2018, I think I applied and was accepted to the second cohort of Capital Impact's EDI program. Fast forward to now, a lot of the developments that are happening throughout the city of Detroit, you know, have participants from that cohort and others. Their focus of helping us and upskilling us, Black and brown developers, is actually paying off.
We've replicated the EDI program and our learnings from the EDI program in Detroit and in Washington, D.C., and we have plans to expand that to several other cities across the country.
Capital Impact has been in a leadership position in the city for a while because of their very early success and their willingness to plant a flag here.
I feel really proud of the work that Capital Impact has done in the city of Detroit. We've invested almost $300 million, and we can see the results of that, but also know there's still a lot to do and there's still a lot of challenges in front of us. You know, systematic racism is still prevalent, poverty is still prevalent. The city needs huge investments in infrastructure and in schools, and the challenge for Capital Impact is to really understand what tools we can bring. And so now, as investment is coming back into the city, it's really important that that investment is feeding and growing the resilient community that was already here, and not just washing that out.
It would be easy to sort of stay in the place that we are comfortable, or we can collectively push into that harder space.
My hope for Detroit is that more people throughout the city of Detroit, both downtown, midtown, and also in the neighborhoods, have opportunities where they can start a new business, where they have a safe and productive neighborhood and a house that they can call home that they're proud of.